The boxing era has long been gone for years, but many people still believe that boxing is better than MMA. I mean, if this was 40 or 50 years ago, I would be on that boxing train. We have evolved, and so has combat sports. So here are my top 5 reasons why MMA is better than boxing. My number 5 reason is because MMA has great fights on television all the time, and they're free. And I am talking about the UFC mainly. They have The Ultimate Fighter, which is a reality show but with actual fights that take place each week. This show is also great because we get to see great fighters come out of the show. Fighters like Nate Diaz, Rashad Evans, and Michael Bisping. Another way the UFC gives great fights on television is through Fox. They have cards all the time, even showing title fights on these cards. The number 4 reason why MMA is better than boxing is because MMA has better fighters. This is obvious because in boxing, there's only one aspect of fighting going on, and that is punching. I know there's a lot of technique and whatnot that goes into it, but MMA offers so many different fighting styles. Fighting styles like Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, judo, and Taekwondo, just to name a few. If a boxer went up against an MMA fighter on a street fight, well, it wouldn't be a fun night for the boxer. My number 3 reason why MMA is better than boxing is because it is much more safer. Honestly, I mean, when you look at boxing, they're getting punched in the face all the time. And in MMA, they could get kicked in the leg, they could get submitted, they could get kicked in the body. So the punishment goes different places than in boxing. In a study of 1,800 MMA fighters and 550 boxers done in the years of 2003 through 2013, it found that 59% of the MMA fighters suffered an injury and 49% of boxers suffered an injury. But 7% of those boxers lost consciousness compared to 4% of MMA fighters. And the boxers were significantly more likely to receive post-bout medical suspensions. I'm not saying that MMA is the safest sport around, but it seems to me that it's much more safer than boxing. The number 2 reason why MMA is better than boxing is because in MMA, particularly in the UFC, super fights happen all the time. In most title fights, the best go against the best, number 1 and number 2. There really doesn't seem to be any picking and choosing going on. Unlike in boxing, they have different promotions and it takes millions of years to see the fights that the fans want to see. I mean, it wasn't too long ago in the UFC where Conor McGregor was trying to go up in weight classes and do something that no one has done, no one has seen before in the fight game. Other than boxing, they go up again. They go up and down in weight classes, but the weight class is so much different than in UFC that it's not really a comparison. Honorable mention. The ring girls are almost always hotter in the UFC. I mean, look at Ariane. That should be enough for anyone to watch the UFC or any MMA event. The number 1 reason why MMA is better than boxing is simple. The fights are almost more exciting than boxing matches. There's no other place that you could see someone getting roundhouse kicked in the face or elbowed or kneed in the face. And on the same night, you could watch someone getting submitted when they were losing the whole time. I mean, there's so many things that could happen in an MMA fight that anyone with eyes can see is much more entertaining than boxing. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you agree. If not, tell me why.